Hey and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're gonna knit a super simple hat. This hat is made with a thin thread merino and a thin thread mohair. The other hat is a little thicker merino wool. It's the same recipe, just two different types of material. Please subscribe to our channel if you want more free knitting patterns in the near future. We're gonna cast on our stitches, and in the top box you can see how many stitches you need for each size. In the text to the YouTube video you can also see the measurement of the different sizes. I use double pointed needles or stocking needles, but I need 5 double pointed needles, about 20 centimeters. So we cast on all our stitches and we're about to knit our rib edge, which is 1 knit and 1 purl for 20 rows. Make sure your stitches are not twirled around your needles. So before I use my 5th needle, I always make sure I take a couple of stitches onto my 4th needle and then use my 5th needle. This way I'm making sure that I don't get loose stitches in the joints between my needles. We knitted the rib edge, and I just want to show you again how I make sure that I don't get loose stitches in between the joints of our my stocking needles or double pointed needles, and that before I use my 5th needle I just take a couple of stitches onto my 4th needle until I use my 5th needle, just like you see in the video. We knitted our rib edge and we're about to do the plain knit. See in the top box what kind of size you are knitting and see how many rows you need to knit a plain knit. We're done with the knitting and we're about to cast off stitches. You're gonna knit 2 stitches onto the needle, and then you take the back stitch over the first stitch and over your needle. You knit 1 more, and then you do the same with the back stitch over the first stitch over your needle. You continue like so all the way around until you have 2 stitches left. So as you can see, we cast off a lot of stitches and we have 2 stitches left. You're gonna knit the last stitch over and then take the back stitch, just like we did many times before, over the first stitch and over your needle. Then you're gonna break the yarn, and then you're gonna pull the yarn through the stitch. I recommend that you iron the knittings so it's easier to sew the top together. So we ironed the project and it's now easier to work with. So we also made a pom-pom, and in the top you can see what video can help you with making a really gorgeous pom-pom. So we need to turn our project and sew it together and then turn it again so you can't see the sewings. Find the middle of your project and then join these 2 spots together. Find the middle on the loops and join them to the middle, just like so. Sew these 4 parts together. Each loop has to meet the middle, just like we did before, but just in smaller version. And then sew it together and join them in the middle. Now you can see why we call it the flower hat, because the top looks like a flower. So we sewn the middle, and then we need each loop to be sewn together so we don't have any open loops in the top of your hat. We sewn everything together and we're about to join our pom-pom to our hat. But this is the back side of the hat and we need the pom-pom to be on the front side of the hat. So we're gonna put the needle through the middle and then turn the hat. Then sew the pom-pom to the hat. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our knitting pattern. Please feel free to leave a comment in the video with your next knitting project.